So now let's get one thing real clear here. First of all, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. Although the way it's reported in the Washington Post kind of pisses me off. But Standard & Poor's announced tonight it has downgraded the U.S. credit rating for the first time in U.S. history. According to the Post, the move came even though the Treasury Department said that it had found a math error in the firm's calculations of deficit projections. That's according to a person familiar with the matter. S&P decided to lower the AAA rating held by the United States for 70 years to AA+. After the debt deal signed into law this week failed to assuage concerns about the nation's growing spending. So that's what Standard & Poor's is concerned about. How about the nation's unequal taxation program? See, Standard & Poor's has secondary, tertiary, all kinds of other interests here. As a matter of fact, were I the Obama administration, I would probably give the finger to Standard & Poor's and tell them to piss off. But you see, you can't do that because so many people around the globe look to these bond rating agencies to make decisions based on allegedly deep scrutiny into the companies or the operations of which they're rating. But that's not how Standard & Poor's works. We'll get to that in a second, too. Anyway, analysts have said that a downgrade, if it were to happen, which apparently it has, could increase the cost of borrowing for the U.S. government. That will lead to tens of billions of extra dollars in interest costs per year. This is what the Republican teabaggers, this is what roughly 60 people gave 330 million of us. Okay? What should happen to them? I'd like to say, but I would probably lose my broadcast license. Anyway, the cost of borrowing, the cost of or the interest rate on your credit cards are probably going to go up. If you want to buy a car and pay for it over a period of time, interest rate going to go up. Interest rates for housing, probably going to go up. This is what these goddamn teabaggers have done. This is what, and Standard & Poor's. I mean, what Standard & Poor's wanted was $4 trillion reduction in spending. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. So the deal struck, although it's a bunch of bull crap, the deal struck was not $4 trillion in deficit reduction over the next 10 years, but $2.1 trillion over 10 years. Half of what Standard & Poor's wanted as they attempted to blackmail the entire country. Oh, God. Standard & Poor's had warned the Obama administration several times this year that unless the government took steps to get its debt down, its credit rating could be lowered. Now, I don't know, the UK, Canada, I don't know how many other countries have a better credit rating than the United States. Okay, well, that's cool. Good on you, Canada. This is the same company, Standard & Poor's, that gave good ratings to all those collateral debt organizations, good ratings to thieves, shysters, punks that then turned around and destroyed the economy. This is the same Standard & Poor's that assisted in setting our country and the world up for this financial crash that occurred in 2007, 2008. This company, Standard & Poor's. Now, Standard & Poor's, the losses on these collateralized debt obligations, CDOs. Let me back up. Investors who trusted the low-risk profile that AAA implies, AAA ratings that Standard & Poor's dumped on that CDO market. Oh, yeah, everybody get on board. This is going to be a gravy train. Anyway, a lot of people purchased large amounts of CDOs that later became unsellable. In other words, they're not worthless. They represent debt. So they do have some worth, if you can think that way. Those that could be sold took staggering losses. For instance, losses on $340 million, a third of $1 billion worth of CDOs issued by Credit Suisse Group, added up to about $125 million despite being rated AAA by Standard & Poor's. In April 2009, Standard & Poor's called for new faces in the Irish government, which was seen as interfering in the democratic process of that country. And in a statement after they caught hell, they said they were misunderstood. You lying sons of bitches. Isn't capitalism fun? Isn't this fun? Woo! Yeah! Are you going to win from this? Are you going to win from the rabid dogs that now own the U.S. Congress? And they're little punks that sit there and destroy us? Do you have any doubt now? I guess some of you still do. Oh, well. In November 2009, 10 months after launching an investigation, the European Commission formally charged Standard & Poor's with abusing its position as the sole provider of international securities identification codes for U.S. securities by requiring European financial firms and data vendors to pay them for the use. The European Commission said in a statement, this behavior amounts to unfair pricing. The numbers are indispensable for a number of operations that financial institutions carry out and cannot be sustained without them. I mean, it just goes on and on. I would not really call Standard & Poor's AAA rated if you know what I mean. They're a bunch of goddamn capitalist thieves, liars, sneaks, crooks like the rest of these people. And because Obama and the Democrats it wasn't even Obama. Obama offered $4 trillion in cuts. The Republican, Obama. The arch-conservative, Obama, whose task it was to destroy 80 years of democratic social safety net programs. Obama offered $4 million in cuts, exactly what Standard & Poor's wanted, and these dumb goddamn Republicans walked away. Because in that $4 trillion cut were some tax increases for the upper 0.1%. Go effing figure.